Alright you guys, what's happening? Welcome back to another reaction video. This time we're talking Scotland 3, Israel 2. A result that is not only won Group C 1 for Scotland in the Nations League and ensured promotion to the B League, but has also wrapped up a playoff place should Scotland balls up the Euro 2020 qualifying. So great news all round tonight, and to be honest, off the back of a very, very good performance. So I think the one lesson that's definitely came out of these last two games is that putting guys in their proper position makes a massive difference. Too often with Scotland, we have seen players playing all over the place just to shoehorn them into the team, not really caring where their natural position is, and it came back to bite us. It certainly came back to bite us in Israel, which was one of the worst Scotland performances we have seen in a long time. But tonight we saw everybody playing their natural position, and I thought it made a massive difference. So obviously this probably wouldn't have been the team that started if no one had called off, but I actually don't think it would have been hugely different. I think the only guy you probably would have seen playing out of position would be Kieran Tierney. I think Tierney's the only guy you can really justify out of position, and too many times we've seen central players shoved out on a wing or whatever, and I think that is one of the major positives we have to take over the last two games, and hopefully Alex McLeish has learned that as well, and hopefully he will do his absolute best to play guys where they should be playing going forward, because that was, granted, not the best opposition, but two very, very good performances. So before we get to the guts of the good performance tonight, we kind of have to talk about the first 15 minutes where Scotland were a wee bit ropey, didn't look great, didn't settle at the back at all. Beram Kayal's picked the ball up, he has wandered forward, no one's came out to close him, and he's just had a dig for 25 yards. To be honest, and you can probably see in the background actually that is Aberdeen paraphernalia before I say this. I am an Aberdeen supporter, but when it comes to Alan McGregor, I'm not really the type to criticise him normally. I think he's a really, really good goalkeeper, and I'm actually happy he's Scotland #1 at the moment, but I thought he was kind of suspect for the first goal. I thought he was too far off his line considering where the ball was, and when the shots came up and down, he's put himself in a bit of no man's land, to be honest. So I thought he was a bit culpable for the first goal. We'll get back to McGregor though, who had a stunning save towards the end. But yeah, I thought that all round it was a bad goal to lose. It was a great strike by Kayal, but Scotland should be doing better with that, and we find ourselves in a hole, and you're thinking, here we go again. And I know everybody's going to be talking about James Forrest, and obviously I will in a bit, but I actually thought the driving force of Scotland getting really settled into that game was Stuart Armstrong. I thought his runs from midfield were fantastic. He was great on the ball, he was distributing it all over the place, and I think Stuart Armstrong has to take a lot of credit for really settling that side down and getting Scotland into the game. Once Scotland settled down into the game, that was where James Forrest started to really light things up. I thought James Forrest was the best player in the park on Saturday, and I mean there's no denying he was the man of the match tonight, scoring a hat-trick, just an unbelievable performance. And Stuart Armstrong had a massive hand in the equaliser. He was having a great first half after those first 15 minutes. He's came forward, the shot's been charged down, and Forrest has just taken one touch to open his body up and lashed it across the goalkeeper. So one each. Again, that's Forrest's speciality at the moment. One touch to settle it, the second touch to ram it home. And I think, to be honest, at that point Scotland had really been growing into the game, and I think that once they equalised, I think people were very, very confident Scotland were going to go on at least score one more. Stephen Fletcher with a flick on from an Andy Robertson high ball. Ryan Christie's brought the ball down well and chipped it over two defenders, and there again Forrest, one touch to control, one touch to ram it home, 2-1. And for that point, the way Scotland had played in that first half, I mean, we've seen Scotland enough that we expect them to balls it up at some point, but I think people were very confident at half-time. I was certainly confident that the way Scotland were playing, they were going to see that game out. Too often in the past, we can be quite passive. We're a goal ahead. We want to play as defensive as possible. But I thought Scotland really took the game to Israel in the second half, and that was a massive positive for me. Rather than trying to sit on 2-1, trying to get that third goal and put the game to bed. And when they eventually get the third goal, it's a wee bit like the goal, a wee bit like the second goal that Forrest scored on Saturday. The one touch just to take it past the defender, and the second touch to ram it into the back of the net. Forrest was just absolutely on fire in this game. Fantastic performance. More than deserved to complete his hat-trick. And something I said on Saturday, I would love to see Ryan Fraser on one wing and James Forrest on the other for the foreseeable future for Scotland. There's absolutely no reason to go anywhere else at the moment, and those two have been excellent the last two games. Obviously Forrest will get all the plaudits as he deserves it, but Fraser was very good on Saturday, and I thought he had a good game again tonight. I thought they were going to see it out comfortably, but of course Israel get a goal with 15 minutes to go. Zahavi's picked the ball up about 30 yards for goal, and he's came forward and no one's really gone to him, and a lot of people were criticising Scott McKenna for that. To be honest, there is an Israeli forward who's ran across Scott McKenna, and he kind of gets caught in between. The shot ricochets off him into the bottom corner, and from there obviously you're thinking, here we go again. To be honest, for the next 10 minutes, I thought Scotland were pretty comfortable up until about 85 minutes, and then it got really ragged. So there's a diagonal ball, a great diagonal ball, and a volleyed shot that McGregor's made a brilliant save on. I think the thing about that is you can get a hand to that, but getting a strong hand to that and keeping it out is massive. And he maybe kind of parried it into a wee bit of a dangerous area, but the fact that he kept it out with such a strong hand, I thought it was a fantastic save. And it's made such a massive difference for Scotland, obviously, when it comes to Euro 2020 qualifying and getting promoted to the B League, that save. So yeah, a lot of credit, despite the fact I criticised them for the first goal. That save was unbelievable. Obviously, everybody's going to be talking about James Forrest, and rightly so, but McGregor, I thought, brilliant save. And yeah, Scotland saw it out for there. A couple of dodgy moments, obviously, there was a couple of corners and stuff like that, but to be honest, that was the one. You always see it. There's one chance, it seems to be, once a team's a goal ahead with 10-15 minutes to go, and it's a massive game. The opposition get that one chance, and when that one chance came, McGregor was big, and that was fantastic. So, if you go through the team tonight, I thought McGregor, obviously a wee bit at fault for the first goal. Great save at the end to keep it level. I thought Andy Robertson, really, really good again tonight, to be honest. He is fantastic going forward. He had a cross in the first half that was to the back post, and actually James Forrest miscontrolled it, and it was just an undefendable delivery. It was fantastic. And I just think Andy Robertson is just a marvellous player, and I wish we had more players like that. And it's a real shame that arguably our two best players are both left backs. It's so frustrating, because I think Tierney is a fantastic young player as well, and you just wish, it kind of goes back to the 90s when it seemed like our best players were goalkeepers. Now they seem to all be left backs, so what can you do with that? Scott McKenna, I thought, defended not bad tonight. I thought his distribution was dreadful, if I'm being honest. He wasted possession a few times, but towards the last 10-15 minutes, there was a couple of times where he carried the ball out and used it very well. There was specifically a time where it was getting a wee bit ragged, and he carried the ball out, beat a man, and then got brought down and won a foul and really settled the game down. So that was good. David Bates, I gave a little bit of stick to on Saturday night. I thought Bates was really good tonight, to be honest. I thought his positional sense on Saturday wasn't great, but he was good tonight. I thought he was very good in the air, and I thought he was so composed on the ball. I thought that his distribution was good. Patterson had an okay game. I've never loved Callum Patterson at right back, to be honest. And I'm not that confident with him at international level, but I can't say anything bad about his game tonight. Again, I can't say anything bad about his moustache. That fucking Magnum PI thing is looking smashing. So, yeah, I thought Patterson had a decent game tonight, so I'm quite happy. The midfield three, Armstrong was brilliant. I thought that Ryan Christie's energy was massive, and I thought Callum McGregor's use of the ball was really, really good as well. So that midfield three, again, another really good game for Scotland. The wide players, I thought Fraser was a wee bit quieter tonight, but he had these moments. Obviously, James Forrest was absolutely tremendous, and Fletcher had a decent game tonight. I thought, obviously, his flick on, which led to the second goal, was big. I thought he won us a few free kicks, doing very well. I don't think Fletcher's going to be in the team for long. I think there's options there that'll play ahead of him when they're available. At the same time, he did his job tonight, so we've got to be happy with that. So overall, a really positive few days for Scotland. Obviously, it was so miserable after the Israel away game. I thought that was an absolutely appalling Scotland performance. As disjointed as could possibly be, and we made Israel look like world beaters that night. But I thought we were really good value for the win tonight. What that means going forward for Scotland is it has given us a fantastic opportunity to qualify for Euro 2020. Not only have we been promoted to the B League for the next Nations League, which is good news, we have also wrapped up a playoff place regardless of what happens in Euro 2020 qualifying. We're going to have 10 groups, and 2 teams from each group is going to qualify. Scotland, with that result tonight, have actually moved up a pot from pot 4 to pot 3, so that's big. And I think actually our best route is probably going to be through these Nation League playoffs. So as it stands right now, we're looking at Scotland, we're looking at Serbia, we're looking at Norway, we're looking at Finland. Things can change depending on who actually qualifies for Euro 2020. If one of those teams qualify, one of the runners-up for League C is going to go into that 4. But as it stands right now, the one thing that we do know is Scotland will be seeded and they will play a home game in the semi-final. Playing that game at Hampden is obviously going to be massive. I'm assuming we don't qualify through the normal means. It would obviously be great if we do. But we are going to be underdogs to qualify from the main group. At the moment, Scotland would host Finland. Things could change between now and then, obviously. And then after that, we would be looking, if we beat Finland at Hampden, which is massive that it's going to be at Hampden if that's how it comes out, we would play the final, and the final again is one leg, and it's going to be played at a host venue, but there's going to be a draw. So it's a 50-50 chance if Scotland were to get past that game and get into the playoff final that they would play at Hampden. There's a 50-50 chance, obviously, they would play away to whoever they are playing, which I think is not a great way to do it, to be honest. I would actually prefer it was at some sort of neutral field, but, you know, I don't make the rules. Winning this Nations League group has given Scotland the absolute best opportunity to qualify for Euro 2020. Obviously, it's moved us up a pot in normal qualifying, and it's ensured us not only a semi-final and a playoff if we don't qualify, it's assured us at least one home game, so that's fantastic. Delighted that Scotland won the game tonight, delighted that Scotland won the group, delighted that they're going to be in the B League as well next time. I think, to be honest, we have to admit that the Nations League has been a big success so far. Now, it's going to be played every 2 years, so there is a possibility that the next Nations League isn't going to be as exciting, because I don't think the Nations League is going to have anything to do with World Cup qualifying, so it might not seem as important next time, but Scotland getting to the B League gives them a crack. It's worth noting the playoffs will be in March of 2020 as well, so if we don't qualify through the regular means, we're going to have to wait a while for those playoffs, so that's a pain in the arse. But, you know, what can you do? This is the 6th reaction video I've done. I've done 4 for Aberdeen and I've done 2 for Scotland. And I've not done them randomly. I started doing it after the Rangers Cup semi-final for Aberdeen, and then I've just kept doing it for every game. And so far we have done 6 videos and we've got 6 wins. So if you think I'm a lucky charm, hit that red button below. Hopefully we can keep the runs going. I'm hoping obviously for Aberdeen, you might not, but certainly hoping in the future we can keep the luck going for Scotland. So like I say, hit that red button below if you enjoyed the video. I am still trying to build up this channel. Hit the like button as well. I would very much appreciate that if you could hit that like button. That really helps me get the video out as well. I've been QMJ. Thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you again sometime.